How often do you wake up feeling truly in control of your life? Not just drifting through the motions, but waking up with clarity, purpose, and an unshakable mindset. Most people don't. They let the world dictate their emotions, their reactions, their sense of worth. But what if you could rewire your thinking every single day by adopting the mindset of history's greatest Stoic philosophers? This isn't about empty motivation. This is about taking control. The Stoics believed that your thoughts shape your reality, that true power comes from within, and that life's chaos cannot break you unless you let it. Imagine waking up every morning armed with 9 Stoic truths that reinforce your strength, sharpen your mind, and prepare you to face the world with unwavering confidence. These are not just affirmations. They are principles, battle-tested by Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, designed to make you mentally unbreakable. If you're tired of self-doubt, if you're ready to own your life and master your emotions, then commit to this journey. Let's explore 9 powerful Stoic reminders that will transform the way you think, act, and live every single day. 1. I am capable. There will be days when doubt creeps in like an uninvited guest, whispering that you are not enough, that you lack the strength, the intelligence, or the resilience to face the challenges ahead. But here's the truth the Stoics understood. Your mind is your greatest asset, and within it lies a power far greater than any external circumstance. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The world may throw storms your way, but it is not the storm that defines you. It is how you stand in it. Consider the life of Nelson Mandela. Imprisoned for 27 years, he had every reason to succumb to despair, to believe that his circumstances were greater than him. Yet he refused to be broken. Locked in a small prison cell, stripped of freedom, separated from his family, he held on to one unwavering belief. His mind remained his own. He was still capable of growth, of leadership, of shaping his own reality, even within the confines of his captivity. And when he finally walked free, he emerged not as a man defeated, but as a leader stronger than ever, proving that no prison, physical or mental, could contain the power of a person who refuses to surrender to self-doubt. So how do you embody this? How do you remind yourself every day that you are capable? The answer lies in deliberate, consistent reinforcement. Each morning, before the world has a chance to tell you who you are, you must be the first to declare it. Stand in front of the mirror and state 3 things you excel at. They do not need to be grand achievements. It could be as simple as, I am capable of adapting to change, or I am capable of learning new things, or even, I am capable of facing today with strength. What matters is that you say it with conviction. Some may dismiss this as mere self-talk, but science and philosophy both affirm its power. The narratives we repeat shape our perception of reality. Tell yourself you are weak, and you will hesitate when faced with obstacles. Tell yourself you are strong, and you will find the courage to push forward. Every time you affirm your capability, you are not just speaking words, you are rewiring your mind, reinforcing a belief that will influence your actions. But words alone are not enough. The Stoics did not believe in idle affirmations. They believed in action. To truly internalize this belief, you must prove it to yourself through action. Push yourself into discomfort. Accept challenges that stretch your limits. Each time you confront a difficult task, rather than retreat, remind yourself, I am capable. The weight you lift today may feel heavy, but by lifting it, you prove your strength. The skill you struggle with may seem daunting, but by practicing, you confirm your ability to improve. The conversation you fear may be uncomfortable, but by speaking up, you reaffirm your own voice. Capability is not something you wait to feel. It is something you cultivate. And the more you remind yourself of it, through words, through actions, through the daily choice to rise rather than retreat, the more it becomes an undeniable truth. When life challenges you, as it inevitably will, the question is not whether you are capable. That has already been decided. The only question left is whether you will step up and prove it. 2. I shape my reality. The world does not shape you, you shape your world. This is the foundation of Stoic thought, a principle so powerful yet so often overlooked. Too many people drift through life believing that they are merely passengers, that fate or circumstance dictates their journey. But the Stoics understood a fundamental truth. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. These words from Epictetus are more than philosophy. They are the key to an unbreakable mind. Think about the most challenging moments in your life. Was it the event itself that defined you, or was it your response? Two people can face the same adversity. One crumbles, the other rises. The difference is not in what happened to them, but in what they chose to do with it. History gives us countless examples, but let's take one that defies all odds. Imagine losing your job, your home, and everything you built, reduced to nothing overnight. Most would despair, seeing only loss, but some see opportunity. They understand that while they may not control the situation, they control what happens next. Elon Musk, in his early days, found himself sleeping on office floors, borrowing money for meals, and yet he never saw himself as a victim. He shaped his reality by focusing on what he could control, by deciding to move forward instead of staying stuck in his circumstances. Now, apply this to your own life. Every single day you are faced with moments, big and small, where you must choose between being reactive or proactive. Do you let traffic ruin your mood, or do you use that time to reflect and practice patience? Do you let a setback define your worth, or do you take it as a lesson and keep pushing forward? Every reaction, every choice, every thought contributes to the reality you create. If you want a better life, you must first take responsibility for the one you already have. This means no more blaming external factors, no more waiting for the perfect moment to take action. The moment is now, and the person responsible for shaping it is you. Instead of saying, "I wish things were different," start saying, "I will make them different." Instead of waiting for motivation, take action despite how you feel. The Stoics understood that control is not found in external conditions, but in the mastery of oneself. A simple but powerful practice is to start your day with intention. Each morning, remind yourself, "I shape my reality." This is not wishful thinking, it is a call to action. Write it down, say it out loud. Reinforce the mindset that you are in control. Then, throughout the day, challenge yourself to act accordingly. When something unexpected happens, instead of reacting on autopilot, pause and ask, "How do I want to shape this moment?" This mindset does not make life easier. It makes you stronger. It does not remove obstacles. It gives you the ability to overcome them. Because when you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start seeing yourself as the architect of your own life, nothing can hold you back. The world is not happening to you. You are happening to the world. 3. My path is clear. Uncertainty is a silent thief. It steals confidence, focus, and progress, leaving behind a fog of hesitation. When you don't know where you're going, every step feels like a gamble. Every obstacle feels like a dead end. But the Stoics knew the antidote: clarity of purpose. Seneca put it bluntly, If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. The world is chaotic, unpredictable, and often unkind, but clarity cuts through the noise. When your path is clear, distractions lose their power. Doubts fade. You stop wandering and start moving, decisively, intentionally, purposefully. Think about the great leaders, the visionaries, the relentless individuals who carved their own way forward. Steve Jobs, stripped of his position at Apple, could have spent years in resentment, paralyzed by failure. But he didn't. His path remained clear, even when circumstances seemed to conspire against him. Instead of wallowing in regret, he built Next and Pixar, only to return stronger than ever. His clarity of purpose made the setback temporary. Without it, he might have faded into obscurity like so many others who let setbacks define them. So how do you find that same level of clarity in your own life? It starts with decluttering your mind, eliminating distractions, removing unnecessary doubts, and focusing only on what truly matters. Every morning, remind yourself, my path is clear. This is not wishful thinking. It is a declaration of focus. It is a conscious rejection of the excuses and distractions that keep you from moving forward. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need all the answers. You simply need direction and the conviction to follow it. But clarity is not just about knowing where you're going. It's about understanding what you must leave behind. Many people are weighed down by past failures, toxic relationships, or fears of what might go wrong. They carry these burdens like a heavy backpack, struggling to move forward but unwilling to drop the weight. The Stoics teach us to shed what does not serve us. If something does not help you move toward your purpose, why carry it? When you remind yourself, my path is clear, you are choosing clarity over confusion, focus over distraction, movement over stagnation. It is not about having a perfect road ahead. It is about trusting that whatever twists and turns come your way, you will navigate them with strength and purpose. And if your path is unclear, you do not wait for it to be handed to you. You carve it yourself. Take action today. Write down your top priority, the one thing that, if accomplished, would make the biggest impact in your life. Then, write down 3 things you must do today to move toward it. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Your path is not something you find. It is something you commit to, step by step, every single day. The fog lifts only when you start walking. 4. I grow stronger daily. Growth is not a sudden transformation. It is the result of daily discipline, resilience, and deliberate effort. There is no single defining moment that makes a person strong. Strength is built in the quiet, in the unseen moments, in the small choices you make every single day. Marcus Aurelius understood this well when he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Struggles are not roadblocks. They are the training ground for your growth. Every challenge, every setback, every moment of discomfort is an opportunity to fortify yourself. Think about an athlete preparing for the Olympics. Do they wait for motivation to train? Do they only push themselves when they feel like it? No. They show up every single day, whether they are tired, uninspired, or facing setbacks, because they know that true growth is not about perfection, but persistence. It is about showing up and doing the work, no matter how insignificant it may seem in the moment. The same principle applies to every area of life. Consider Michael Jordan, who was cut from his high school basketball team. That moment could have defined him. He could have believed he was not good enough and given up. Instead, he used it as fuel. He trained harder, pushed himself beyond his limits, and transformed what seemed like a failure into an opportunity. He did not grow into a champion overnight. He grew stronger daily, with every drill, every practice, every shot. Your growth is no different. It does not come from waiting for the perfect opportunity or hoping for an easier path. It comes from embracing discomfort, from learning through struggle, from refusing to stagnate. Growth is found in the moments where you want to give up, but choose not to. It is in the days when you don't feel like working out, but you do anyway. It is in the projects that seem overwhelming, but you break them down and tackle them one step at a time. It is in the conversations you fear having, but you step forward and have them regardless. The key to sustained growth is recognizing that progress is never linear. Some days you will feel like you are leaping forward. Other days it will feel like you are barely moving. But even on those slow days, you are still advancing. Even when you fail, you are learning. Even when things don't go as planned, you are adapting. Every setback, every mistake, every difficulty is sculpting you into someone stronger. So how do you ensure that you grow stronger every day? You make it a commitment. You document your progress, not just in the big wins, but in the small, everyday victories. Write down something you improved upon today. It could be a skill, a mindset shift, or even the fact that you faced a challenge instead of running from it. The act of recognizing your growth reinforces the belief that you are getting better day by day. Tomorrow does not make you stronger. Yesterday does not define you. The only thing that matters is what you do today. Make today count. Push yourself a little further. Face discomfort head on. Embrace the process, because every single day you are becoming someone stronger than you were before. 5. I commit to excellence. Excellence is not a finish line. It is not a title you earn once and carry forever. It is a way of life, a daily decision to hold yourself to the highest standard, no matter who is watching. The Stoics understood that true greatness is not found in external rewards, but in the discipline of effort, the pursuit of virtue, and the unwavering commitment to doing things well. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, once said, "Well-being is attained little by little, and nevertheless is no little thing itself." In other words, greatness is built in small, consistent actions, not grand occasional gestures. Look at any master of their craft, an elite athlete, a world-class musician, a visionary entrepreneur. What sets them apart is not just talent, but an obsession with continuous improvement. They do not settle. They do not cut corners. They do not seek mediocrity. Instead, they commit fully, completely, to the discipline of mastery. Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was known for his relentless work ethic. While others slept, he trained. While others took breaks, he pushed himself further. His commitment to excellence was not something he turned on and off. It was who he was every single day. Now ask yourself, what would your life look like if you approached everything you did with that same level of excellence? Not just the big things, but the small things, the way you communicate, the way you handle responsibilities, the way you treat others. Excellence is a mindset, a habit, a personal standard that influences every action you take. The Stoics teach us that we must focus only on what we control, and one of the few things we have complete control over is the effort we put into each moment. But here's the truth. Excellence is uncomfortable. It demands more from you than mediocrity ever will. It requires discipline when no one is watching, resilience when things get hard, and a refusal to settle when good enough is an option. It means waking up early to put in the work, even when no one is checking. It means rewriting your goals not based on what is easy, but on what challenges you to grow. It means saying no to distractions, to shortcuts, to the temptation of choosing comfort over progress. To truly commit to excellence, start by applying one simple rule. Do everything as if it matters, because it does. Whether you are writing an email, training at the gym, or speaking to a stranger, do it with care. Give your best effort, not because someone else demands it, but because you refuse to accept anything less from yourself. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Each morning, remind yourself, I commit to excellence. Make it a non-negotiable standard, not an occasional choice. Track your habits. Push yourself harder than yesterday. Recognize that success is not an accident. It is the result of daily disciplined effort. And when you feel like giving up, when mediocrity tries to pull you back, remember, greatness is not something you reach. It is something you practice every single day. 6. Excuses do not define me. Excuses are seductive. They whisper comforting lies, telling you that circumstances are to blame, that the timing isn't right, that you're not ready. They give you a way out, a justification for inaction, a reason to stay comfortable, to avoid discomfort, to remain stagnant. But the Stoics knew that the path to growth is not paved with excuses. It is forged through responsibility. Epictetus made it clear, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. In other words, don't talk about who you want to become, prove it through action. Excuses do not just hold you back, they define you. Every time you say, I don't have enough time, or I'm not good enough, or I'll start tomorrow, you reinforce an identity of limitation. You tell yourself that external circumstances control your destiny, when in reality, the only thing in your way is you. The world is full of people who let excuses shape their lives. People who never started the business they dreamed of, never learned the skill they admired, never pushed beyond their comfort zone. But you have a choice. You can either be someone who makes excuses or someone who makes progress. You cannot be both. Look at history's greatest achievers, leaders, athletes, creators. Did they succeed because their path was easier, or did they succeed because they refused to let obstacles become excuses? Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. If he had told himself, maybe I'm just not meant to do this, the world would have remained in darkness. If Elon Musk had let repeated failures stop him, SpaceX and Tesla would not exist. The difference between them and those who remain stuck is not luck, it is refusal. Refusal to let failure, fear, or difficulty be an excuse to stop. Now ask yourself, what is the excuse you've been telling yourself? That you don't have enough resources? Neither did Oprah Winfrey when she grew up in poverty. That you're too old? Colonel Sanders started KFC in his 60s. That you don't have enough time? Everyone has the same 24 hours. You just decide how to use them. If something truly matters to you, you will find a way. If not, you will find an excuse. To break free from excuses, you must first recognize them. The next time you catch yourself saying, I can't, pause, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this really impossible, or am I choosing the easy way out? More often than not, the barrier is not real, it is mental. Then take immediate action, no matter how small. Want to get fit? Do 10 push-ups right now. Want to start writing? Open a blank document and type the first sentence. Action destroys excuses. Each morning, remind yourself, excuses do not define me. Say it with conviction. Carry it throughout your day. When discomfort arises, when resistance creeps in, when your mind tries to retreat to comfort, stand firm. Make a commitment. You will not be ruled by limitation. You will not be controlled by fear. You will not allow excuses to shape your life, because the reality is simple. Either you run your excuses, or they run you. And today, you choose to take control. 7. I am designed for greatness. Let that sink in for a moment. This is not just a motivational line, it is a fundamental truth that can redefine how you see yourself and your place in the world. You were not born to blend into the background, to live passively, to merely exist. You were designed for something greater, to create, to lead, to impact. The Stoics believed that every individual possesses an inner potential, an innate power that is waiting to be realized. Epictetus put it plainly: first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. But why do so many people never reach their potential? Why do they settle for mediocrity? The answer is simple: self-doubt, fear, and conditioning. From an early age, society teaches you to conform, to stay within predefined limits, to accept an ordinary life. The world tries to convince you that greatness is reserved for a chosen few. That is a lie. Greatness is not about luck, privilege, or talent. It is about belief, discipline, and action. Think about those who have truly shaped the world. Were they born extraordinary, or did they choose to rise despite their circumstances? Oprah Winfrey grew up in poverty, rejected at every turn, told she wasn't good enough for television, but she refused to accept limitations that others placed on her. She saw herself as someone capable of extraordinary things, and because she believed it first, she made it reality. The same is true for every visionary, every leader, every person who has defied the odds. So what about you? What would happen if you started seeing yourself as someone capable of greatness? Not someday, not in the distant future, but right now, with the skills, resources, and opportunities already within your grasp. The Stoics taught that external circumstances are irrelevant. What matters is how you use what you have. If you are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect plan, you will wait forever. The time is now. To truly embody this mindset, you must reinforce it every single day. The world will try to distract you, to convince you otherwise. That is why you must start each morning with this truth: I am designed for greatness. Say it, write it, believe it, then back it up with action. Do one thing today that aligns with that belief, whether it's taking a step toward your goals, pushing beyond your comfort zone, or refusing to entertain limiting thoughts. Remember, greatness is not about grand gestures. It is about consistent, daily decisions. It is choosing to show up fully in every aspect of your life. It is refusing to let fear dictate your choices. It is knowing that even on your worst days, you are still moving forward. There is no secret formula, no magic shortcut. You decide. You decide whether you let doubt keep you small or whether you rise above it. You decide whether you let failures define you or fuel you. You decide whether you remain stagnant or step into the person you were meant to be. You are designed for greatness. Live like it. 8. External opinions do not sway me. In a world where everyone has an opinion, how many of them truly matter? Every day, you are bombarded with voices, some doubting you, some criticizing you, some trying to shape you into something you are not. The Stoics understood that seeking validation from others is a dangerous trap, one that leads to self-doubt, hesitation, and a life lived on someone else's terms. Marcus Aurelius warned against this when he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The opinions of others are outside events. They do not belong to you, and therefore they should never have power over you. But society conditions us to crave approval. From an early age, we are taught to fit in, to meet expectations, to shape our actions based on how others might perceive us. This need for validation can become a prison, dictating what we say, what we do, even how we think. How many dreams have been abandoned because someone said, "That's unrealistic," or "You're not good enough"? How many risks have gone untaken because of the fear of judgment? The harsh truth is that people will always have opinions, but their opinions do not define you unless you let them. Consider the story of J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, her manuscript was rejected 12 times. Some publishers thought it wasn't good enough, that children wouldn't read it, that she should move on. Imagine if she had let those opinions dictate her belief in herself. The world would have never known one of the most influential literary works of our time. Instead, she understood a critical truth. Opinions are just opinions, not facts. Now think about your own life. How many times have you hesitated because of what someone else might think? How often have you let external voices drown out your inner one? The Stoics teach us that our energy should be spent on what we control, our actions, our mindset, our values. Everything else is just noise. The judgment of others? Noise. Their expectations? Noise. The only thing that matters is whether you are living in alignment with your own principles. To embody this mindset, start by recognizing when you are being swayed by external opinions. Ask yourself, am I making this choice for myself or for the approval of others? If the answer is not rooted in your own values, you are letting the world dictate your life. Train yourself to detach from opinions that do not serve you. It does not mean ignoring all feedback, but rather discerning which voices contribute to your growth and which ones are merely distractions. Each morning, remind yourself, external opinions do not sway me. Let it become an unshakable belief. Walk into every situation with the confidence that your worth is not determined by how others see you, but by how you see yourself. Stop explaining yourself. Stop seeking permission. Stop waiting for validation that you do not need. When you live by your own standards, something incredible happens. People start respecting you not because you conform, but because you stand firm. You become a person of conviction, unafraid to chase your own vision. And most importantly, you find peace, because when you are no longer swayed by opinions, you are finally free. 9. I embrace the present moment. Most people live everywhere except where they are. They dwell in the regrets of the past, replaying mistakes and wondering what could have been, or they anxiously anticipate the future, worrying about things that may never happen. But the Stoics knew that the only moment that truly exists, the only moment you have control over, is now. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." It sounds simple, yet few people truly practice it. The present moment is where life happens, where decisions are made, where change begins. If you are not fully engaged in it, you are not really living. Why do so many people struggle to stay present? Because the mind is restless. It clings to the past, hoping to rewrite it, even though that is impossible. It fixates on the future, believing that happiness lies somewhere ahead, rather than within reach right now. But happiness is not found in nostalgia or in anticipation. It is found in presence, in fully experiencing this moment as it unfolds. The past is gone. The future is uncertain. What you do now is the only thing that matters. Think about elite athletes in high-stakes competitions. The moment they allow their minds to drift, whether to a mistake they made earlier or to the outcome of the game, they lose focus. Champions understand that their power is in absolute presence. They play point by point, moment by moment, fully immersed in the task at hand. This is not just a strategy for sports, it is a strategy for life. Your greatest strength lies in your ability to be present, to give your full attention to whatever is in front of you. The benefits of embracing the present are profound. When you live in the now, you experience life more deeply. Conversations become more meaningful because you are actually listening. Work becomes more productive because you are fully engaged. Even simple pleasures, a sunrise, a quiet moment, a deep breath, become richer because you are aware of them. Presence amplifies every experience. It transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. So how do you cultivate this mindset? Start by training yourself to notice when your mind drifts. If you find yourself replaying a past mistake, remind yourself, that moment is over. The only thing I control is what I do now. If you are consumed by anxiety about the future, ask yourself, is worrying helping me, or is it stealing my energy from the present? Awareness is the first step to reclaiming control. Make it a habit to ground yourself in the now. Take intentional pauses throughout the day. Breathe deeply, notice your surroundings, reconnect with your senses. When you eat, taste your food. When you speak to someone, truly hear them. When you work, give it your full effort. Presence is not just a mindset, it is a practice. The more you cultivate it, the more natural it becomes. Each morning, remind yourself, I embrace the present moment. This is not just a phrase, it is a commitment. It means refusing to let past regrets steal today's peace. It means not allowing future worries to rob you of joy. It means choosing to live fully, completely, right here, right now. Because in the end, the present is all we truly have. Live in it, own it, make it count. Every day, you are faced with a choice. You can drift through life, reacting to circumstances, letting doubt, fear, and external noise dictate your path. Or you can take control. You can remind yourself of these 9 Stoic principles, not just as words, but as guiding truths that shape your mindset, your actions, and ultimately, your destiny. Because strength is not given, it is built. Clarity is not found, it is created. Greatness is not luck, it is choice. Stoicism is more than philosophy, it is a way of life. It teaches us that while we may not control the world, we always control ourselves. And in that control, we find power. Power to remain steady when others waver. Power to take action instead of making excuses. Power to be unshaken by judgment, unafraid of failure, and unwavering in our pursuit of excellence. When you live by these principles, you are no longer at the mercy of life's storms. You become the one who navigates them. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 9 reminders resonated with you the most? How will you apply it to your life starting today? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one, and your insight might just inspire someone else on their journey. If this video brought value to you, show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing. By doing so, you help spread these life-changing Stoic lessons to more people who need them. And if you want to continue this journey, turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to grow. Before you go, ask yourself this. If today were the only day I had, would I be proud of how I lived it? Your life is happening now. Make it count.